Greetings, comrades. It's a fool's day today, but we are adults who will not be discussing the origins of Fool's Day. But I was reading on internet the origins of Fool's Day. Many people have no knowledge about that, but we are not going into that because we've got important issues to discuss other than the Fool's Day. And my comrade Gwaza says he gets easily fooled because he does not believe that there's anyone today who still believe in April Fool's Day. So we'll leave that. Thanks, comrades, for sending your questions for discussion. But before we get to the questions, today is the 1st of April. Yesterday it was the 31st of March. Most of you were circulating some message which were explained late last year or early this year about the alleged expiry date for waiver applications for ZEP holders. We have explained that people should just ignore that message, but people kept on circulating. And there's nothing we can do. And no one today can say they've been turned away from VFS to apply for a waiver if they do qualify, which clearly means that that message that was circulating saying the waiver application process will close on the 31st of March 2022, it was not, because we explained that the Department of Home Affairs was addressing a specific issue, not ZEP holders, because ZEP holders were granted a grace period of 12 months up to 31st of December 2022. Then people, when they see the Department of Home Affairs dealing with other issues, they quickly link that to ZEP and they start to circulate. So we have no control over such, other than that we get bombarded by inquiries, people asking whether it is genuine. So I want to get someone from today who will say they've been rejected or they've been refused to submit at VFS the waiver application because they are told it expired on the 31st. And also, we always say that let's not circulate in our social media platforms and incorrect information. Some of us, we then try to be experts on these issues, in the process mislead a lot of people. So it is always important, as we said, that you go to the website of either the Department of Home Affairs or VFS. If something is not on the website, please don't circulate it so that we do not mislead a lot of people. Comrade Dawanda Mhlanga writes, why women's organizations in our nation are not standing for Mary? I think Mary Chiwenga, isn't she a woman? Well, we are in solidarity. It's not only women. We are in solidarity with Mary Chiwenga. We wish we could do more to assist her in the situation that she finds herself in. But as you know, we are very much limited, but we are in solidarity. Of course, we've heard others saying she made her bed, she must lie on it. But the very people who say so, every weekend or every Saturday, every Sunday, they go pray, say, God forgive us our sins. But assuming Mary committed a sin, they are not ready to forgive. But every morning they pray the Lord's Prayer to say, God forgive us our transgressions. But they are not ready to forgive others. That's the nature of our society. Because none of us is perfect. I know, because the majority of Zimbabweans practice religion. And Jesus Christ said, if anyone he has no sin, they should pick up a stone and cast the said person who has said to have sinned. So we all have our transgressions, we all have a history. So if we make a mistake and we realize that we have made a mistake, we seek forgiveness. And us, as a people, we should not keep on condemning to say because you did this, therefore you must, we must celebrate your suffering. We should not. We should not. This is why we are in solidarity with Mary Chiwenga. But you are correct, Comrade Dawanda Mhlanga, because a lot of people will then hold the view that she did what she did. It was nice, therefore she should enjoy the pain. But we also know, as I'm saying, because we're getting to weekend, we're getting to Easter holidays, which is a Christian calendar. The Bible also speaks about females that they are weak. Well, I'm not getting into any debate, but I'm simply saying, so some decisions that they take according to the Bible, whether I believe in the Bible or not is a discussion for another day, but at least this is what it says. Little Bible ngabe so umntwana will make a decision without really processing it, and they realize later that they made a fatal error. So this is why we are saying we should not celebrate the suffering of Mary Chiwenga and any other person for that matter. Comrade Thando Ndlovu writes, kanti wenzeni umzwandile masina bemkhiphe ngesihlungu esinjeyana. Well, Comrade Thando, I just saw a clip. I didn't really follow on what was happening in Ekhuruleni. You know, I took a decision that I will not spend most of my time following news these days, because you know that we are being fed propaganda on what is happening in Ukraine. So I decided, look, I would rather spend my evenings watching Nigerian movies or soccer. Now that soccer is returning this weekend, I would rather be watching soccer than watching propaganda from a number of channels. Comrade Nokukhanya Khumalo writes, that Comrade Ngabutho Nicholas Mabhena uyasonda sure. Makhumalo was baptized a brother in Christ Church when I was 15 on the 26th, was it 21st of September 1985, before you were born. Yeah, I was baptized not in a swimming pool. I was baptized in a river. But like I'm saying, religion is a private matter. Comrade Mujozi, you decided not to witness the backfiring of Putin's stupidity. That's not correct, Comrade Mujozi. This is exactly what we are being fed on SABC, BBC, CNN, Warawara. So I'd rather watch football. Comrade Buthelezwe talks an Umtaka Madlamini Mpofu writes, morning, Comrade Ngabutho Nicholas Mabhena. Do you think Zimbabwe's future is safe if the power is given to Triple C? Assuming Triple C will have to form the next government, it will stabilize the economy. That is a reality we cannot run away from. So we think that in the first decade, the economy will certainly stabilize. Because we think it will ease or it will end Zimbabwe's international isolation. So the Triple C, they have a good relationship with the West, and we know that a number of people in the diaspora might want to return to Zimbabwe once Triple C is in power. If you were to ask me, is to say maybe, of course, that's not the position of the Zimbabwe Communist Party. Maybe we need Triple C to be in government in 2023 so that we begin to engage on other issues post-2023, because our country is polarized. If Triple C is not going to win state power in 2023, beyond 2023, we will continue. There will be a contestation of the outcome of the 2023 election results. I mean, it is not healthy for the country to be under what it is since 2000. So I think maybe for the benefit of doubt, they should get into power in 2023. Whether they will go the way of Chiluba is another discussion. Remember that MMD got into government in 1991, and today MMD is history. Because what is very certain is that against what other commentators think, the loss of Triple C, if it is going to lose, as we think it will, if it is going to lose in 2023, it will not fold, it will not collapse, it will continue to mobilize, because it is inspired by the president of Zambia, HH, who contested for about 6 times before winning the presidents in Zambia. They will say, as they are saying, that it is a new movement. So there's no way that if they are going to lose elections in 2023, they are going to disintegrate or collapse the movement. It will not happen. They will remain popular as we be going to 2028 elections. So this is why I'm of the view that maybe they need to get into government, whether it's a coalition government, whether it's a government on their own. It has to happen. But then, Comrade Buthelezwa Mpofu, in terms of their class character, well, it's something that we will analyze when they finally publish their electoral manifesto. Comrade Neva Chisasbanda writes, on Mary Chiwenga, we feel sorry for the poor lady. We pray that God intervenes and save the life of her. We agree on this, Comrade Sbanda. Then Comrade Nels Nompilo Moyo, the last time I checked, she was a DJ for Bukalanga Radio. I'm not sure whether she's still a DJ there, but she writes, is ZCP a political party or a humanitarian organization? We are a political party, Comrade Nompilo Moyo. We are not a humanitarian organization, but we do humanitarian work as a party. You will know that many organizations, they have a welfare department because we live amongst the people, and we encourage comrades to assist others who are in need. I should not go to ShopRite, buy groceries worth 2,000 rands and eat alone with my family when others do not have anything. So if there is a way of assisting those that are in need, we need to. But indeed, we are a political party, as you would know. Comrade Michael Mdladla Ndiweni, Comrade Best Mbulawayo, who is doing great work with the informal sector organizations in Bulawayo, and I know he has been involved, maybe still involved, but he was involved with the Citizens Manifesto. I'm not sure what is happening these days, Citizens Manifesto, but he writes, why there's obsession in politics to Zimbabweans on social media, but it keeps on failing them or us. What is the nexus on political literacy and the actual results on the ground? Comrade Mdladla, let me try to understand what you are saying. You are saying why there is obsession in politics to Zimbabweans on social media. We have said that people talk about anything, particularly politics. And we said that before the advent of social media, people will talk, whether in beer halls, in churches, in villages, in towns, they will talk, but they do not have this platform that we have. What you see being discussed in social media is what people were discussing. And of course, social media, it does not have distance. someone you will talk like we're talking now. Other people in North America, some in Europe, some in Zimbabwe, and so forth. It has no boundaries. But I guess you are then saying, why does it become difficult for people to practically engage, say even to the extent of casting their votes? This is why, Comrade Mdladlana, the question of diaspora vote becomes key, because most people that are active on social media would find it expensive to go and cast their votes, as many of those on social media are not in Zimbabwe. So voting then remains only for those that are inside Zimbabwe, and those that are able to travel, who of course are the minority. Comrade Mchazi said, Mfana can't get the rights. We heard our General Ncube saying, singabona ukuchitheka komshado emzini omusha we-Triple C maduze. Uthini owakumbono lapho? Look, Triple C is isivunguzana. It's a movement. And I believe from what we've seen, they've done well in terms of their messaging. Remember when Chamisa and the rest of the leadership announced the change of name and the new colors, within 24 or 48 hours, the entire country where they have a membership, it was yellow. That tells you the power of social media. There were no meetings of the structure. People traveling from Harare to sit down with the structures on the ground to explain the decision to rename the party Triple C and the colors. When the announcement was made, it filtered down, and we then saw the wave. In terms of the rallies that were taking place up to the by-election, to an extent that they retained all the seats, that is parliamentary seats that they'd won under the ban of MDC Alliance in 2018. So their strategy has been very effective in the build-up to the by-elections. What we are not sure, because some of us were not members of Triple C, is the internal dynamics. Because internal dynamics, it means you must then have someone who gives you information on what is happening. Some of us who are outside, we are analyzing what we're seeing because we are not privy to the internal or inside information. But what we see outside is that they did very well in returning the seats that they'd won in 2018, and also given the time frame that was there between the announcement and the by-elections and the rallies that they held countrywide, which were well attended. Comrade Malingakum says, are our peasants literate enough to understand political literacy, or they mirror their votes directly to their needs? Life, torches, fertilizer, and clothes, t-shirts, and saros. Comrade Kumalinga, in one of the videos that we did, we said the social class alliance between the peasantry and the working class does not exist at the moment. Their voting preferences are different. The people in the rural areas, others will argue that it is intimidation, it is because of the freebies that are being given. But the reality of the matter is that the people in rural areas, they either vote for a party that is in charge of the state, that make laws and make it easy for it to dispense any freebies that the people need, whether the things that you are speaking to, or they will vote for a party that is likely to win state power. This is why Zimbabwe is a two-party system. So, and people vote for ZANU-PF because the people in rural areas, they need access to land, they need access to farming inputs, and we know that the influence that the working class or the working people had over the rural people is no longer there. It does no longer exist because, as we're arguing, that this new generation of the working class does not maintain a home in the villages to an extent that there is no link between the two. And this also, given the collapse of the economy, it has driven the working class into the diaspora. We were saying the other day that the diaspora will support both the working class in Zimbabwe. Today, people are queuing for monies that is coming from outside. And the Minister of Finance, Mthuli Ncube, speaks to this, that the remittances from the diaspora runs into $1 million. And also the diaspora then support rural families, but there's no physical contact to have these discussions on the daily struggles that the rural people are going through. Hence, they then vote differently from those that are in the cities. And then Comrade Chisa writes again, Spanda, never. My feeling is that all genuine opposition political parties should form a united front leading to 2023. Well, you are a member of ZAPU, Comrade Never Chisa Spanda. Maybe we will hear from you, from ZAPU comrades, to say how do you want to approach the elections in 2023, whether you are going to accept the invitation that was extended to you by Advocate Nelson Chamisa when he was at White City Stadium. But I think I read a ZAPU statement speaking something different. I can't remember the wording of the statement, but we'll hear from you. Then the last question is from Comrade Minute Jamela Spanda. It says, I want to go to Zim on Good Friday. Those 90 days they gave me in January have expired. Remember that in January, we spoke to the head of the border controls, Mr. Matthews. He's the head of the border controls. We asked him to say, we actually did a video on that. If you check on my YouTube channel, there's a video titled 90 Days Visa or something along those lines. When we spoke to Mr. Matthews Modiro, who is the head of the border controls, to say, look, Chief, people who are holders of ZEP have been given days, others 30 days, others 90 days. What should happen if those days expire? Should they then rush to the border? He said, no, they will not going to be penalized. They should stay until the 31st of December 2022. That's what he had said. But of course, we know the officials at the border post. Because you will not meet Mr. Matthews at the border post. Officials behave funny at times. So you might find an official who does not understand and says your passport or your days that were given have expired, then you run into problems. So we've been saying to some, we have been raising this question to say, look, because we know the attitude of officials at the border post, maybe if you are free to get to the nearest border and get your passport re-stamped, it will be okay. You lose actually nothing. Of course, you might spend money going then. But we were assured by Mr. Modiri Matthews that there is not going to be any problems with anyone who's a ZEP holder, because what you call the immigration number 12, I can't remember the correct term, said that the ZEP is extended or the grace period is extended. So they cite that there are those that in their passport it is actually written that Immigration Directive 12 is operational. So that means that you will not be penalized. Comrade Mehlokazi Lumkholo, we are actually going to Easter and we are thinking of you that you might grace us with some performance at Hebrew Theatre, but these days we seem not to see you around Hillbrow, Uval, Berea. So we don't know who's going to perform for us over this Easter weekend on Workers' Day. Comrades, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We will continue engaging. Otherwise, have a great day. Amandla, comrades. Bye-bye.